Welcome! This is Solopreneur Success Strategies, where we talk about mindset, your website, your brand, your social media marketing, your customers, how to sell to your customers, how to find your customers, how to talk about the skills and knowledge you need in your business, and free software and tools to help you save time, money, and be more productive, as well as strategy and systems here on Solopreneur Success Strategies. Welcome! Oh, welcome. This is Jane Gardner, and welcome to Solopreneur Success Strategies. And today is Jill or Jack of All Trades Thursday. And for those of you who don't know, Jill or Jack of All Trades Thursday is basically saying, as a solopreneur, you need to know a little bit about a lot of things. You need to know about your website, your computer. You need to know a little coding. You need to know WordPress. You need to know your cash flow. And of course, you need to know how to set up a few of your systems like email and that. So we go over that on Jill or Jack Thursdays. And for those of you who don't know, I'm Jane Gardner, and I work with my husband in our structural engineering firm for the last 20 years in our home business over in Western Canada. And about 3 years ago, I went and came onto the internet to show other people how easy it is to start a home business. So welcome. This is part of Solopreneur Success Strategies, where we talk about mindset on Mindset Monday. We talk about your brand, your messaging on Tuesday, on Get Your Message Out Tuesday. Wednesday is all about your customer on World Domination Wednesday. Friday is all about free software and tools to save money in your business. Saturday is System Saturday. We talk about some of the systems to free up your time. And Sunday is all about strategy, your business plan, your goals, your visions for your business, and how to keep on track in the ever-changing world of the internet. Today, we're been talking about WordPress on Jill or Jack of All Trades Thursday, and we've done how to create a page, how to create a post, and what is WordPress. And today we're going to be looking at what is a plugin and how to install them. They're really quite easy. So let's get started. But first, I got to tell you about my offers. So we have looked previously at Solopreneur Success Strategies about pricing. So if you want to go find out about that free information, it's on my YouTube channel at Solopreneur Success Strategies at jgtips.com/YouTube to look at some of the previous episodes. But I have a offer today of jgtips.com/pricing, where you define your customer, know your competitors, position your product, create a pricing strategy, monitor your pricing, and how to lower and raise your prices and make a better offer in order to have a better price. So that's at jgtips.com/pricing. We've also had a couple of months of looking at HTML, and that's coding for your website, which you go in behind in your WordPress at jgtips.com/HTML, where we look at some of the items in HTML coding you can use very quickly in your business just to be able to have control over your website, be able to change your colors, add a post, optimize your videos, and how to do a link, etc. So that's jgtips.com/HTML. And of course, while we're doing WordPress, I have an offer for WordPress is Easy you can have a look at jgtips.com/WPress. And this is some of the basic stuff you need to know about WordPress in order to be able to control your website. Because, of course, you don't want to have someone else controlling your website, like your website designer. As administrator, you need to also be in control of your assets. So it's always good to know a little bit about a lot of things, and that's why this is called Jill or Jack of All Trades Thursday. So today we're going to look at plugins in WordPress. So we're going to go look in the back end of my website. And let's go on and have a look here. We're in the dashboard of my website. Now, my website dashboard will probably look different from yours because, for example, I've backed up with Updraft Plus, which is free, by the way, for anybody. That's a good plugin, though that's it for another day. So that'll make it look different from your, and I also have maybe a different theme than you have. I have the Get Noticed theme. So a lot of these things here are all added in by Get Noticed theme to have options. So once you come in on with your username and password and you're on the dashboard, you go down to Appearance. And that's not the right place because that's for next week. Right below Appearance is Plugins. And so the first thing I'd like to talk about is that what is a plugin. So plugin is let's go there first, is a piece of software that adds functionality to your WordPress website. So we're going to have a look at some of my plugins, I guess. And it's got its own location called Plugins. And some of them make a few comments about upgrading and paying for the upgrade on the plugins. But the majority of these plugins are free. Akismet is not free. It is good for spam commenting. All-in-One SEO Pack, I believe that one I've had to pay for. And I have to upgrade it. It says there is a new version of All-in-One's SEO Pack available. View it or update now. And then I have a few. This one I paid for. Blueberry PowerPress is free. And Easy Click to Tweet Boxes is free, etc. So you have a variety of WordPress plugins which help in your functionality of your website. For example, Eyeball Glue is actually Simply Video Pro, which is a video player which has some amazing abilities that other than playing videos. So anyway, sorry, I don't want to get started on that one. So what we want to do then is you can see that I have a variety of plugins, and you have to keep control of your plugins. Oh, and Updraft Plus is a backup restore plugin that I like. Certainly something that you should consider because you can back it up to your Dropbox. Your Amazon S3 is where I've got it. Google Drive, you can back up your database for your WordPress every few hours. And what has happened is I've already in my process, in my server, they request that you first do a backup of your database before you do any updates of your plugins, in case the plugins don't work with the WordPress. Then you can go back to the previous backup. But I've done that already. So all I have to do when it says please update it is click on it and it'll update it for me. And I've already, of course, as I said, created a restore point in case this clashes with my WordPress, and so that I can go back and back it up. But I've already done that ready, so I'll just say no thanks. And then so basically then the process is updating. And that will happen. I think I have 2 of them I need to update. Usually when there's an update on WordPress, you also have to update a few more of the plugins. So you have a list of your plugins here. And then it gives you updates available. Must use are 3 of them. Inactive, I've made 2 inactive to delete them. And I have 18 active. So let's go and see how to add a new plugin. So at the top of the plugin page, we'll call it, you can say add new. And it shows up another page, as we like to call it. And they have some recommended plugins. If you're looking for one of those, then you can certainly click on them, like Akismet, and just install now. But let's see what we can do. And then you have featured plugins. You have popular plugins. They give you a choice of those. Let's see, WooCommerce, Google Analytics, regenerate thumbnails. Basically, if you don't know if you need it, don't get it. But here we go. We have a contact form. So let's install that. So that's one way. You can just click install now. And no thanks, I already did this. You click on it, it installs itself. And then you have to activate it so that it works. No thanks, I already did. Back it up. And I guess it's probably in my plugin list. So let's have a look. Where did it go? Install plugins. So go down, it's alphabetical. So we have a look, see if it's there. And there it is, Contact Form 7. We can activate it, we can delete it, and we can edit, but don't edit because that's a lot to do with coding. So what you do is usually if you activate one of your plugins, it'll either have a box there where you do some of your work, but more than likely it puts in your list on the left-hand menu. You will find it somewhere here. So there it is. It's been put in the left-hand menu. This is the Contact Form plugin. And so it's going to be able to add a contact form onto a page probably on my website if I want to. And they usually have getting started information and how to set it up and filter it, etc. And for this one, it's a plugin where you will create a form, and then you can use what they call the short code, and you just pop that into a page, and then the contact form will show up there. Well, let's go back to the plugin page just to show you that that's one way, of course. If it's already there, you can just install it. But the other way is to, of course, search for it, and another way is to and then upload it. So let's go add new. Okay, and let's see. And we can also search plugins in for any plugin. Let's see, what one can we use? Let's see. And this will search, I think, in all of WordPress. There's a place where they list all the things. Excuse me. Okay, so I could display my Instagram profile into a WordPress site if I wanted to. Anyway, so you can search, and this usually goes to the wordpress.org site where all the developers list their various free plugins. There's a lot of free plugins, which makes WordPress very powerful. But let's go and show you how to upload a plugin. It's very easy. You can, of course, search for it, but of course you can also, when you get a plugin that you buy, it should be in a .zip format, which is a zip file, and do not unzip it because all of it is put together as software inside the zip, so it all has to come up as a zip from your computer. So let's see, I don't think I have any here that I can upload, but I might. Let's have an application here. Let's see, I should have looked before I went and did this, but hey. Here's one here. This is actually a plugin, or this is actually a plugin. No, that's not a plugin. Let's see. Okay, let's just continue on. So you can then, of course, upload a plugin as a zip file, knowing, of course, what it is that you're installing. And so you click Install Now, and it will unplug into and unzip the file and activate it and install it into your WordPress site. So let's see. There is another way. See, it installed failed because it wasn't really a zippy. It wasn't really a thing. So you just go back. It wasn't a plugin. So, okay, we can go and we can search for. Let's search for a plugin. Let's go to the. Oh, okay. Featured will bring you to the WordPress directory, which we looked at before. And let's see, can't use that one, but you can actually browse based on the most popular tags in the plugin directory. So let's look for something that's good for images. Actually, I need to update an image one that I know of, but I don't think it's here. But so it goes to the WordPress.org directory where there's all these free plugins. And then you can have a look and see which ones you might be interested in. And then upload them. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. So when you look at, when you look at a plugin, you can right-click and open the link in a new tab, and it will go for more details. And I think it goes to the WordPress.org. And no, it doesn't go to the WordPress.org. It gives you more information about that plugin. So, for example, this one, you can display your Google Photo Picasso web albums in your WordPress installation simply. And interesting. So let's pretend that we're going to install that one. So, as usual, all you do is have to click on Install Now because it's already been set up so that it will install. And we'll get another plugin. So another way you can install plugins and then you activate the plugin. It installed it. So if you activate the plugin, it'll open up and go into the plugin directory. Google, Photos and Picasso viewer. So let's have a look at it. It's interesting. Oh yeah, it uses shortcodes. So you basically use a shortcode to show your album. And since I don't have an album, it's not worth looking at. Okay, you can also FTP. If you don't know what FTP is, that's for another course. A plugin up into your database for your WordPress site if you need to because of the way it's designed. Sometimes it doesn't, some plugins won't upload easily with add new. So that's another way to do it, and for another time. And yeah, so that's how easy it is to do it. It's just a matter of figuring out which ones you want to have and not to get carried away with putting a lot in, because there's a little over 30,000 free plugins out there on WordPress.org directory. And if it's not located on WordPress.org, it's best to be very careful about it because it may not have passed a strict test to make sure they're not loaded down with malware and viruses. So they always get a strict test to make sure on WordPress.org if they are safe. So if you don't know the developer, it's probably best not to try and use a plugin that is not on WordPress.org. And you certainly have enough of free plugins that you can find on WordPress.org, so you can certainly use many of those here. And if it has a good rating, so let's have a look at some of the ratings here. Excuse me. Let's go back to plugin page. So what you do is, if you're not too confident about it, probably don't put it in if you don't think you need it. But you can also have a look at the ratings for them when you have a look at these plugins. On the side, the people who use them will give them stars. So BuddyPress, for example, has 4.5 stars, 200,000 active installs. It's been updated 9 hours ago, so it's certainly compatible with the newest version of WordPress, so that's great. The biggest concern you should have is with anything that's untested with the version of your WordPress you have, or that hasn't been updated for a couple of years. It's probably best to avoid it because WordPress changes so quickly. You always want to make sure you're up to date. So if you want to delete them, it's quite easy to do. Let's go back to install plugins and uninstall contact form, I guess. I usually find all I get is spam mail in the contact form, but I know I have to have one. So in the plugin list, you deactivate first, and then it will have the option to delete it. There we go. So we have activate, edit, or delete. You don't touch edit. That's programming stuff. So you delete. Are you sure you want to delete? Yes, we do want to delete. And it usually gives you a little, oh, no, it doesn't for this one. It just deleted it. So there you go. That's easy, isn't it? So in closing, Some people will say that having too many plugins will slow down your site. That's not altogether true. What might be true with that statement is having too many badly coded plugins will slow down your site, because I've seen some sites that have had 30 or 40 more plugins that have an excellent load time, and then I've seen other sites that have 5 or 10 plugins and have a terrible load time. And Ken, it's not so much the number of plugins that you've installed, it's how well coded those plugins are. And certainly I had we'll call it sort of a spamming hack into my website, one of my websites, and it was due to one of the plugins had not been updated for a long time, and it had a vulnerability in there, so that I had to remove that plugin and get it cleaned out professionally, etc. So you always have to keep your plugins up to date and your WordPress up to date. And so you always want to have the number of plugins that you really want on your computer, which reminds me I should probably delete the one that I had already said I wanted to delete. So we'll delete that one as well. I hadn't gotten around. Don't leave inactivated plugins on your computer. Oh, there's another one. So let's delete that one. So there you go. Plugins are basically, that's about all you need to know about plugins, other than figuring out what the job is that you want it to do and make sure it's doing its job. Any plugin should be, they'll be listed here, but they should be active here. So let's see where we've got. For example, that's a plugin. So all the settings for the plugin goes into that menu, and where you pick all your parts of that plugin. And then obviously you go to look at the developer and see how to use the plugin. And on WordPress.org, there's always a list of, we should probably go there in a minute, how to install something, as well as how to, what it does, so you know before you install it. So let's go to WordPress.org and go and have a search for a contact form. And this is free here. WordPress.org is where the originates the WordPress software. And this is where all the free plugins are. So there's our contact form 7 plugin. Simple. And you can download it also from WordPress.org. And it has support, frequently asked questions, and of course the recommended plugins for users that might want to use with Contents 7, as well as what the ratings are for it as well. So you can decide whether you want to put it in and what its functions are. So, here's how you install it. Excuse me. Should have shown that. There, frequently asked questions and screenshot. And that's about all you care about really on there, as well as reviews, of course. So there we go. You know a lot more about plugins than you thought you did, and they're real easy to install. So there we go. I hope that wasn't too long, and I hope you found out something about plugins here, and that's not just a foreign word. But any plugin that you put up, it's very easy. You just do an add new and it uploads, or else you can get it from WordPress.org and install now. It's a matter of just figuring out which ones you want. And then they are in the menu of your WordPress site is where you have the functionality of it. So that's it for now. And we'll be looking at some other WordPress things, maybe menus next week. And of course, there's always sales and website, and as well as email and other computer stuff to learn. So there's always a lot to learn as a solopreneur. And as a Jill or Jack of all trades, you can keep control of your assets by learning a little bit about a lot of things. So that would include learning about pricing, how to price. What have we done so far? HTML we've done WordPress, we've done pricing and your customer, etc. So anyway, we'll talk about that later. Next week, it'll probably be menus. I think that would be useful on your website, and how to control them. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. This has been Jane Gardner at Solopreneur Success Strategies. Please go and subscribe at jgtips.com/programs And also to find out about other programs as well over at jgtips.com/programs. And over there we have a free mindset magazine for you to check out at jgtips.com/mindset offer. So welcome. Thanks for listening. And I hope to see you again here tomorrow, as this is a 7-day-a-week show on mindset, your customer, getting your message out on social media and on your website, talking about strategies, talking about business systems, talking about all kinds of things, including the skills you need as a solopreneur. So please come back and subscribe at jgtips.com/programs. Thank you.